It is 8:10 Newstalk Sauga 960 Raw, Mike Richards. And in this hour, I don't know if we necessarily planned it this way, but in a couple of moments, we're going to talk to David Park. We're going to talk about prostate and something that you can do that will hopefully alleviate some of the difficulties that a lot of men are going to have with that. But also in this hour, too, Eric Howardchuk, so Dale's son, who has started their website, Howard Chuck Strong, his aggressive form of gastric cancer is what Dale has. And so he has come out of the hospital once already, and there has been a reoccurrence. So in this hour, these are sort of, in some ways, strangely, if not sadly, related, simply because these are issues that we find in our world where, you're looking for a little bit of help. And for Dale Howardchuk, of course, we certainly wish him the best. He'll come on, and that is his son, Eric, to talk about the endless doctor appointments, just what happens when you go through these things physically, but there's also a drain, I think, emotionally and mentally. It affects all family members. When you talk about prostate cancer and you talk about issues of the prostate, by the time 70 years of age, almost every man is going to have some prostate enlargement. It's just how it is. And for more, we go to our good friend David Park, who obviously from Nutrition House Square One in Mississauga. He's been on the show beforehand, this time with a mask.
Yes.
This time, the first masked interview that we've had. And I got to tell you, you're pulling the look off.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it does.
You got the hair and everything. I love it.
Yeah, good hair. Really good hair. Yeah, are you taking the Bell Lifestyle thing for hair? Because if you are, this is the commercial. This is the ad right
Well,
here.
actually not yet, but I am taking a number of different supplements. But the Bell Lifestyle, the hair formula is great. It's an amazing formula. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so today we're talking about the is it Easy Flow Tea? I think for the prostate. Now, as I just mentioned, the issues that men have with prostate, are we saying it's almost unavoidable that there will be some circumstances we get older that there's going to be some enlargement to a degree for all of us?
100%. Just like our ears grow and our noses grow as we get older, our prostate will grow as well. And it will happen. Inevitably, it will happen to all men. And with some men, it'll turn into a large issue where it's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be frequent dribbling. There's going to be sometimes even painful urination. The frequency is just so high. We'll have to get up many, many times throughout the night. So Bell Lifestyles has put together this easy to brew tea. Very, very easy. When I think of tea, I think of like, I got a bowl of water, I got a kettle, got to get my cup, got to get the tea bag, got to get like this and that. The Prostate Easy Flow tea, it's really easy. It's packaged in a nice way where it's in a bulk bag, and all you do is just grab a teaspoon, or it's 2 teaspoons per cup. You boil the water, you add the 2 teaspoons, you let it boil for about 10 minutes. The best way I feel is to let it sit overnight, and you have a nice cold glass in the morning. Cool glass in the morning. You let that concoction go back into the fridge, and after, when you come back home, after a long day's work, you have another glass at night. So this is the best way to have it. And
interesting.
Yeah, this will relieve weak urine flow. I don't know if you guys can hear me very well, but my mask is up here. Yeah, it will relieve the weak urine flow that we often get. We often have incomplete voiding as well. So that dribbling, and then it leaves just a mess behind sometimes. So
right.
That's why the Easy Flow tea, it's about 8. What is it? How many different herbs are there? There's tons. There's about 15 herbs in here, and so many of them are wonderful, amazing to help with relief, with even in bladder infections. It helps with the frequency. The flow is so much nicer, and that's what we really need as aging men.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say, would you make this recommendation to people that maybe don't necessarily have this sort of situation just yet? Because it almost seems that it's a natural herbal drink. If you're putting it in the fridge, which as soon as you started saying that, you kind of perked my ears because
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
not a hot tea guy.
Yeah.
I've had it in the past. I've had the Sound Sleep tea, which is terrific, but I've never had this. But if you're putting it in the fridge,
Yep. Yep.
nothing gets taken away from it by letting it sit there overnight.
No, it actually potentizes. So it makes it more potent. As you let the herbs kind of seep into the water
Yeah.
will absorb more of those nutrients. The some of the ingredients, I don't know if some of our listeners might be familiar with ginseng, for instance, but it's a
Mhm.
Siberian version, so it's not a very heating ginseng. It's nice and cool. You're getting things like stinging nettle. Nettle is an amazing, rich mineral herb. Cranberry, very good for the urinary tract
Mhm.
infections.
Correct.
Damiana. Damiana is so important for bringing in more circulation into the genital regions as well. So both good for men and women. You'll find a few of these herbs also there's also a woman's version too called, I think it's called Bladder One. Yeah, Bladder One for women. So it's like their lady version of the Prostate Easy Flow tea.
You know, it's interesting because actually my mom, as we speak, is going through some of those issues. My dad was asking me just this weekend, was there something for urination? My mom is in her 80s now and having an issue with that part of the world, if I can put it that way. And he said, what is there out there? I said, well, I know there's a tea. Well, so there it is. Bladder One is the female sort of partner of Easy Flow Tea. So that's great to know because that was one of my questions here this morning.
Yeah, there's actually
Yep.
yes, sorry. There's actually 3 products that are specific for the urinary tract and the bladder. One's called Bladder One for women.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a bladder and yeast infection capsule. It's excellent herbs to help clean and have a fresh urinary tract.
Yep.
And then there's also a tea version, the Bladder Control tea for women. And it's all these products are here because these are the problems that we face as we get older. Incontinence, dribbling, and these herbs are gentle, they're mild, they're very tasteful,
Yeah.
and they're very effective. And that's why so many of Bell Lifestyle's products come with a 100% guarantee. The company is local. They're in Mississauga, 403 in Winston Churchill. They're really close. So they're not a company out in Texas or out in Europe somewhere or Asia. It's a local company, guys. So have trust in Bell Lifestyles.
We're in conversation with David Park. His store is Nutrition House. You can find him in Square One in Mississauga. Now, you've done this for quite some time. How long have you been doing this, David?
My parents bought this store in 1994, right. And I was in Ottawa at the time. I was in university in Carleton, and so I was working on and off since 1994. When I was in school, actually, there's a nutrition house in Ottawa. Shout out to my Ottawa friends at Nutrition House Rideau Center. Hi, Pada and hello, Amir. But yeah, I was working there part-time as well. And yeah, on and off since 94. So what is the 26th year now? Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, that is something. No, I got another question too, because when you start talking to people about this subject, they're always, and I understand it too because I'm in that category. If they're either taking medication, if they're taking like pharmaceuticals for something, do they have to be careful also when it comes to natural health products, what they're to consume? Is that a conversation you should have with a doctor or someone, or because it's natural, are you kind of going to be okay by taking it?
I would go talk to your doctor. It's always best to, especially if you're on medication, and let your doctor know that you want to try something natural, something that's not harmful, something that you could easily incorporate into your day-to-day. And if you're a little bit worried, definitely take them apart. Take it, like, give it a 2 or 3 hour gap from your medication, your natural herbal tea. And again, it's not, you're not consuming the herb. It's the herb that's infused with the water. So it's herbal water. It's not harmful. It's actually, and the formula that's in the Easy Flow tea, it's so effective that, again, 100% guarantee.
The question, because we get this from time to time from a lot of our listeners, David. So with the prostate tea, there are a lot of prostate medications, or I guess herbal medications that come in pill form. As far as absorption is concerned, the tea seems like it would probably be a faster absorption than a pill form, wouldn't it?
It would be. It really depends on each person's ability to break down, like their enzyme activity, their digestibility, the state of their GI tract, how well they're eliminating as well. But yeah, we're often led to believe that liquids are faster absorbing than tablets. But with a lot of the brands that we carry in our store, and similar to that with any other health food store, any reputable one, they're going to find products that don't put any fillers or binders or excipients. And Bell is no different. They don't put any unnecessary ingredients into their products. Everything is clean, clear, everything is concise, and everything is listed specifically on the back of the bottle, right? As the milligram is dictated. Right? So it's all approved by third party as well as government tested too.
It's very stringent. Like that's the thing that even being in their warehouse a couple of times, looking at just not only the number of products, but in order for them to get those products to shelf, the restrictions and just the government bodies that govern those kinds of things to make them available. It takes it is very, very difficult. This is not something that they have done in the back of a garage, ground up a bunch of ancient herbs and put them in a bottle and go from town to town. It's I would think probably in some ways pretty difficult business to be in, because boy, you cannot make mistakes in this industry.
Exactly. Mike, if you and I and Dave were in the States and we each had like hundreds of thousands of dollars and we put it all together, we can make a product and we could advertise it, we could market it, and we could be, very successful. But here in Canada, you're right, there is a lot of stringent testing. There's third-party testing, there's regulations, you need a site license, you need a manufacturer's license. There's a lot of, it's not just money that, a company needs. They need a lot more than that. And it takes years and years to develop a product. And thankfully, being here in Canada, we have these strict regulations that are adhered to, and these products are all natural product. They all have natural product numbers, all have NPN numbers. It's almost like the DIN number for pharmaceuticals, which are drug identification numbers. Here in the natural product industry, we have the natural product numbers. Yeah, so it's another way to test these products and making sure that they're clean, effective, and they are what they are.
Well, it's great to have in the show also because currently we're doing it with Zoom. We get to see the store. We never get to see the store. The store looks fantastic. And you mentioned that date, like 94, 95, just looking down, seeing that since Prostate Cancer Canada was created in 94, the death rate from prostate cancer has dropped by half. If detected early, survival is now close to 100%. So these are the kinds of things we talk about, these teas, when we talk about these remedies, that it just tells you that, by doing that, boy, I'll tell you, you can make your life a lot easier and actually have one just by doing something very, very simple, like making up a tea and putting it in your refrigerator. I mean, that really is something.
Yeah, it's good that these companies like Bell Lifestyles, they make a product like this just for us, just for the aging man, which is great. I mean, there's a lot of products out there, a lot of herbs out there, a lot of teas, but is that tea that you're drinking, is that really benefiting you? If it's not, think about trying the Prostate Easy Flow tea, because this is a tea. It's not super expensive. It'll work out to be maybe $1 per cup, not even.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? $1 per cup of tea, and this is going to do vast changes in your life.
Yeah, that's a great point too, David. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning. Always a pleasure
That
to
was
talk
awesome.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully we can.
Anytime,
We'll stop by and we'll exchange also hair secrets, because I got a little bit of flow going myself. So
yeah, that sounds good. We got shampoos, conditioners, hair formulas here.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
Absolutely. David, you take care. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thanks a lot, Michael. Thanks, David. Take care, guys.
That is awesome. That was David Park here this morning talking to us from Nutrition House in Square One, Mississauga. We were talking about Easy Flow tea, but you also heard Bladder One. That was that was the women's version of it, and that was actually one of my questions this morning. David's the one who brought it up, so that was fantastic. Once again, that's Nutrition House right here in Mississauga, in Square One in Mississauga, and as David mentioned, our good friends at Bell Lifestyle Products here in Mississauga.